Hello there, welcome. I'm really happy that you're watching this. It's World Menopause Awareness Month. Yesterday was the day, today's the rest of the month. So I wanted to avoid that kind of overwhelm and hashtags and spamming your inbox and just send you some really helpful information. So when we're looking at weight loss in perimenopause or weight gain in perimenopause, and we're looking at that in the context of our overall health, it's really important that we understand that a weight gain in perimenopause is more than just not feeling confident, not fitting into your clothes, not feeling or feeling uncomfortable. It's more than that. It's actually about improving health, and it's about improving future health. We know that the more weight that we carry, particularly around our middle, is dangerous. We know that it increases our inflammation. We know that that is going to put us at high risk of chronic disease. So it's really important that we get on top of it. But how do we do that when nothing seems to be working? When you're finding that everything you try, throwing spaghetti at the wall, nothing sticks. You might find that, calories in, calories out works for a bit. You might find the keto diet works for a bit, but nothing sticks long term. And that is because we need to be looking at a complete lifestyle shift in perimenopause. Everything has changed. The landscape has changed. So I want you to look at this picture here and see what's wrong with this process. The house is built on sand. So what we're trying to do here is build our health and lose our weight based on an old landscape, a landscape that no longer supports us, a landscape that 10 years ago did work. It worked easily. And now, in our 40s, in our 50s, it just doesn't work anymore. And it's as simple as that. Our hormones have changed. How we process food has changed. How we manage stress is completely new. And that's going to impact directly on your weight. How you sleep has changed. Again, there's a huge impact on your hormonal balance and how hungry you are, how satisfied you are. How you exercise matters now. What you do, what you choose is different. The old ways are gone. Our bodies are confused. They're stressed. They're inflamed. Frankly, they're a little bit pissed off. And when we're putting on weight, we're putting it on around our middle, that's our body's sign. Let's not hate on our bodies. Let's listen to the signals that they're sharing with us. It's not happy. Our hormones aren't happy. We're not balanced. Calories in, calories out doesn't work anymore. Low-fat diets will not work for you anymore. Exercising harder, trying harder, doing more cardio, none of that works anymore. Now, there are lots of different ways that we can come at this. But the main thing that I work on with women is looking at one very simple process that is going to be completely new to you. Now, every body has blood sugar imbalance in their system. It happens for everybody. This is my system. If you look at the big circle, the pink circle, that would be perimenopause. That's representing where we are now. So in our life now, the important factors that we need to look at for weight management are blood sugar balance, what exercise we're doing, and what lifestyle factors we are contributing. Lifestyle is the thing that's easiest to ignore. The small things, often easy not to do, simple to do, but easy to ignore, but they have massive impact. Stress, sleep, planning, all of these things have a huge impact. Water, caffeine, big impact. Exercise, what exercise are you doing? Are you hammering out a load of cardio, which is just going to raise your stress, raise your cortisol, and contribute to your fat stores? Blood sugar balance is the one we're going to talk about today, because I think this is the simplest one to get going with. So I want to share with you, blood sugar balance is something we all have. It's something that every human being has to manage. And what we're looking for is an undulating curve. We eat, our blood sugars raise, we need that. That's energy, that's our body saying thank you. We'll take that energy and we'll use that for cell renewal and movement, all of the functions within the body. And then our blood sugars drop. And at that point, we think, right, we're hungry. I'm hungry again. We need to refuel. So we refuel. What happens in perimenopause is slightly different, and it looks a little bit scary like this. Perimenopause is fluctuating hormones. We know that our hormones are changing. Our sex hormones are moving around. Our estrogen is fluctuating and on the decline. And what we know is that when our estrogen levels decline, our insulin resistance increases. So we're less able to manage the sugars that come into our body. We're less able to metabolize them. So if you're finding your metabolism is different, that's why. We can't cope with refined carbohydrates, sugars, in quite the same way that we used to. Meaning that when we eat, instead of staying within these nice dotted lines, instead, we get these big, massive, high peaks and high troughs. What happens in these high peaks, you can see here, is that we enter insulin resistance, which means that we get that sugar, our body can't process it, so it stores it, and it stores it as fat around your middle. It also is flooded with insulin, and it stores that as fat around your middle as well. So there's a few things going on here. What also happens is that then we get these massive drops, we get these peaks, with these moments, and we might not necessarily feel it, you might not understand or recognize it in your body. You might just find that after lunch, like an hour later, you're feeling like you're a little bit hungry, a bit peckish, a bit snacky, you're scouring around the kitchen, you're looking at work for snacks, taking a trip to the shop. This is your hormonal response. This is not you being weak. This is not you not trying hard enough. These are your hormones that are unable to balance. So at that point, you get this crash. This is where we drop right down here. And at this point, this is our body stressed. This is our body inflamed. This is where we get bloating and IBS and joint pain and arthritic pain and tension in the body. This is inflammation. And what happens at this point is our mood drops, our anger increases, we're tired, frustrated, we're low mood. Again, it's not you. It's not perimenopause, it's hormones. So we can call it perimenopause, but it's our blood sugar balance that's creating this response. And at that point, cortisol is released. And at that point, once you've got cortisol there, your body goes into stress mode. Now, you might not feel stressed. You may say, I'm not a stressed person. I'm good. I would say that about myself. Not particularly stressing. But I can tell you my body was stressed. And I know that because I was bloated. I was gaining weight. I was finding I was waking up a bit stiff and a bit tight, and my mood was rubbish. It dropped right down. And that's because my body was stressed. I was doing too much cardio. I was raising cortisol. I was eating too much sugar, too many refined carbohydrates. And my body was going into a state of stress, which means that cortisol is released. Once cortisol is released, you're into fight or flight. Your other processes shut down. If you're bloated, if you're struggling with IBS, that's why your digestion is shutting down. Your body is storing fat for fight or flight. It's going to take you and run away from a lion. That's what your body's telling you, but it's not necessarily what we need. So we're storing fat. So naturally, you are going to be storing fat. Now, how